literally all that's ours is this box that's covered, literally this. So all that's in there is ours, plus that.
There is a glass of box.
I suppose you're keeping fit, all three of you now. Bizarre, isn't Why don't we have this legislation?
Have a shot, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the play due to resume in a few minutes. Could we please start to clear the outfield? Could we please start to clear the outfield for the resumption of play after tea? Thank you very much.
Hello, Frankie. Hello, Frank here at the cricket. Hello. Hi, yeah, can you split us out in about 2 minutes? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your cooperation in clearing the outfield, and welcome back to our umpires at the start of this final session. Richard Engelworth and Graham Lloyd. In the field, the Worcestershire side, captained by Joe Leach, and resuming full Gloucestershire, the fifth wicket pair of number 29 Ryan Higgins and number 6 Tom Smith.
Okay, Andy, I'm ready when you are. And welcome back to where play is about to resume on the first day of this Specsavers County Championship Division 2 match between Gloucestershire and Worcestershire. Final session of the day. Tee being taken with Gloucestershire on 251 for 4. Ed Barnard taking up the attack from the college lawn end, and he's going to be bowling to Tom Smith, who completed his 50 with the last ball before tee. Barnard is in and bowls to Smith and beats him outside the off stump, taken by Cox. Worcestershire have gone out with somewhat of a refreshed plan, having had a little bit of counsel from their bowling coach Alan Richardson during the interval. Saw him with the bowlers all gathered round him on the outfield just before they went out, discussing what the plans were going to be, no doubt, for the next hour or so. And it starts with Barnard from the college lawn end, this one full of length and pushed out on the offside by Tom Smith. So these two have changed the complexion of the game, came together with the score on 125 for 4 in the 41st over, and then subsequent 23 overs to the tea interval they added 126 so far for this 5th wicket. Barnard in once more, bowls to Smith, and he gets the first run of the evening sessions. He steers that one down to third man for a single, fielded down there by Pennington.
Did you leave the up here in the tent?
I did.
I got a nice cream.
Did you?
Yes.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
£2.
Did you go?
Cheapest ice cream? No, there's one on the. There's one on the.
Oh yeah, yeah. How much was it, did you say?
£2. Cheapest ice cream on the
£2.
circuit. Oval, £4.
I had an interesting experience during the tea interval. Barnard in, bowls to Higgins, who picks up his first wicket of the evening run of the evening session.
No buzzers.
Nearly gets an overthrow as well as Ferguson throws the ball on the ground. 253 for 4. Well, I don't want to bang on about it, but I saw a chap with a Norwich City top on, so I went up to him and
You hoped.
said the greeting that we all say,
is?
we Norwich fans, which is on the ball City, which allows the other person to know that you're a proper Norwich fan and not pretending. Here's Barnard again, bowls, and this one's a good delivery, just turns Smith around a little bit and he gets a leading edge. It runs out on the offside, but he gets away with it, no real problem, as Mitchell comes in and picks the ball up. And his wife came up and said, I'm the real reason he's a Norwich fan. I come from Norwich and I've converted him from supporting Manchester United. And the chap said to me that once he'd been to a game at Carrow Road, the home of football in the east, as Barnard bowls again and again. He's getting a bit of movement because he's turned him round a little bit there, and it's just run away into the gully, but no run. End of the over, 253 for 4. He said once I'd been to Carrow Road, I'd hooked, and yeah, he was wearing a discreet little logo, but you know, enough for me to notice. And he said, well, I didn't expect to meet any other Norwich fans here, and I said, nor did I. But there you go, supporters all over the world.
Not Delia Smith.
much younger than Queen Delia, as we like to call her. 253 for 4, Smith 51, Higgins 76, and D'Oliveira to bowl.
And D'Oliveira's continuing from the college end. He's going to be bowled to Higgins. Straight away Higgins does a strange shot. That was just a lash slap. A slap, and it was nothing refined about it in any way whatsoever. I think possibly at tea he may have been given a license to thrill, Higgins. He's on 76 and his eye, well, is well and truly in, you would imagine. Yes, and that's pulled away, and that's just a good shot. It's a poor ball from D'Oliveira. It deserved better from Higgins, truthfully. Very short. And he pulled it away, but it went straight to the fielder, and who stopped it uncharitably. Now we got Finch on the boundary just in front of us here at the college ground. That's for the hook, and that's a nice little shot, but it's the same result, different shot, same fielder. So he's driving very purposefully, Higgins. He's on 76. Higgins at 2.53 for 4. Gloucestershire certainly had the better that afternoon session. And he's got LBW. Was he caught on LBW?
Behind, right?
Caught behind, yeah. Well, Higgins has gone. Well, just as I was bigging them up, he goes. The cameo has finished. It's a great innings from Ryan Higgins, and I'm sure he'll get a tumultuous round of applause from the very big Cheltenham crowd. It often happens, doesn't it? Just after the interval.
Yeah, went for the big sweep shot.
Yeah.
And I think the impression I got, just got a little glove on it. That was a good catch. And very, from a Worcestershire point of view, very important. And Higgins has gone for 76. Really good innings, changed the complexion of the game. Brilliant partnership, but a little bit of light for Worcestershire at least.
Well, you say that, but in comes Jack Taylor. Got 99 last week against Leicestershire.
Due a failure then?
Well, he had to be honest, he had a very indifferent season in the county championship as Jack Taylor. They were in the 50 over competition. And that 99 was his highest score of the season. But he is absolutely astounding when he gets going. But will he get going? You never know. You could never tell with Jack Taylor. You could never tell. So this could be the start of a collapse. Could be 250. Well, they lost half their wickets, 253 for 5.
So 128 that partnership.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
In good time, in just over 20 overs.
Yes, it was that. But that was about the benefit of it. Oliver Bowles again. And he's turned away by Taylor. His first ball. He's going to get 2 for that. Down the leg side. So Higgins was out caught behind. It was a smart, as always, a smart catch by the keeper. It's never easy standing up. But he did make amends for that drop. He did drop Higgins when he was on about 55. But Smith's got his 50. Taylor's on the mark with 2. And he certainly gave that some air, did D'Oliveira, and he's played defensively back by Jack Taylor, who ends the over. 2.55 for 5. Now Smith somehow becomes the senior partner.
Yeah, good over from D'Oliveira.
Yeah.
Deserved a wicket. He hasn't been at his best, but when you think he had both Smith and
Yes, he should have had them both.
and Higgins dropped,
Yeah.
you've got to say he's deserved a wicket, and he'll be pleased to have got it. 7 overs before tea. He's now bowled 8 overs. Hasn't he? 8 overs, 1 for 27.
8
overs, 1 for 29. So
21
good
for
effort.
29, yes.
Barnard from the college lawn end. Right arm over the wicket, in past umpire Lloyd, bowls down the leg side, and that one Smith couldn't really reach it. Wide in a one-day game, not in this. Taken by Cox, moving away to his left. 67th over then, 30 left in the day. We're going to be on time, I think, aren't we? Going to finish on time, roughly.
Yeah.
Worcestershire's over rate level on the board. It's been pretty good all day. Mainly seam, just the 7 overs from D'Oliveira, 8 overs from D'Oliveira. Barnard again. In, bowls. Smith drives on the onside, wide of Ferguson at mid-on. Doesn't go past the fielder, but wide enough of him for the batsman to go through for a single, which means Jack Taylor will face Barnard for the first time.
That's something that doesn't happen in good standard club cricket. I mean, they think about the shot and the fielder fields and they don't bother running, but they're sort of anticipating what the fielder does and they go for the single.
Yeah, it's another one of those things we were talking about, the carryover from the shorter form of the game, isn't it? Where white ball game, that's a run every time, isn't it? Here's Barnard again, he's in, bowls to Taylor, who's moves around at the crease. Again, we've got a very good view side on here as he pushes that out on the offside.
Well, he normally stands a long way back in his crease, as Taylor.
We talk about trigger movements now, batsmen having a trigger movement, something that they do before every ball and they know exactly where they are as a result. And just looking at Taylor there, his appears to be what they call a forward press. He sort of leans over his front knee and then goes back and pushes at this one and gets an outside edge down to third man, fielded by Pennington. 2.57 for 5. Taylor goes to 3. 20 extras, which sounds a little bit profligate, doesn't it? 1 bye, 2 leg byes, 12 no balls and 5 wides. 12 no balls would be a bit annoying from the coach's point of view. Barnard is in and bowls, and Smith tucks this one away off his pads.
4. Oh no, 2.
But only 2. Short boundary, going downhill, but fielder coming round from long.
You say 12, that's only 6 no balls, isn't it? Because they get 2 for...
Yeah, but it's too many extras, isn't it? It's 2.59 for 5. I mean, you know, in a score of 500, 25 extras, you think fair enough, but in a score of 250,
too many.
20 is too many. 10% almost is too many, isn't it? Barnard again, in past umpire Lloyd. Right arm over the wicket, bowls to Smith. Looks to work this way on the onside, and gets a good bat on it, but hits it straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. And there's no run. That fielder being Parnell. 2.59 for 5 at the end of the 67th. Smith 54, Taylor 3. If you're just joining us, and there are always people just joining us, the men out: Hammond for 0 and Roderick for 40. At lunch it was 86 for 2. In the afternoon session, Bracey out for 8, Dent for 58. At tea it was 251 for 4, and since tea Higgins has been out for 76. 3 wickets for Leach, 1 each for Pennington and D'Oliveira so far.
Yeah, well, D'Oliveira's deserved his wicket, I think. This is a carry-on bowling to Jack Taylor, who may be tempted to hit him over the top, as that's left outside the off stump. Taylor does like to do the ambitious, and with that mid-on or mid-off, tempted to go for a straight 6. If he's been in long, if it's a 2020 game, he'd have tried it already, I'm sure. Taylor looks around and plays that nicely. Whoa, it's going to be oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't know what happened then. I think Taylor was wrong to call that, and Smith rightfully sent him back. I think Smith would have been well and truly run out, and Taylor was always stranded. The throw was a poor one. Cox had to sort of backhand it, and it didn't reach the stumps. That was a bit of a communication problem, and that's hiked up in the air on the bounce field.
It's one of those where square of the wicket, no distinct line as to whose call it is, and you often get a mix-up, don't you? And as you say, Taylor wanted a run, and Smith sent him back.
I think that's the right call.
Yeah, so do I.
Taylor on 3, waits. That's played back on the bounce, caught it on the bounce in the covers. Gloucestershire still going well. They've got 2. Well, they've had 3 half centurions. In fact, no, we haven't. There was Dent to 50. Yes, he was. So 3. Yes. Taylor plays that nicely down, just behind square on the offside, and retains the strike. Does he? No, there's one more ball to go of the over. Now Taylor already wants something. What does he want? He's waving to the dressing room. Oh, he wants his jumper taken off. He's mad coming out of the jumper anyway, isn't he? He's worried about his jumper. D'Oliveira comes to bows to Smith, is on 54. And just plays it calmly back to end the over.
12th man comes on to get that jumper.
Well, he's got a long sleeve shirt underneath.
Some players just feel more comfortable wearing the same thing every time, don't they? Well, maybe he's ready now. Just open his arms up. Just got to make sure the muscles are warm, and he's going to have a go.
Well, I know he's a maverick, is Taylor. You never know what's going to happen with him. Never know.
Well, there's room for a maverick in every team, I think, but you don't want more than one. That's what I always think. I think I might have pinched that from a coach's conference or something like that. Anyway, Ed Barnard, anything but a maverick. A really good, solid professional cricketer comes in now to bowl to Taylor, who's batting well out of his ground, and then does that trigger movement where he moves that back foot back in quite a considerable distance, taken on the pad by this. Bit of an appeal, strangled at birth by both Cox and Barnard. No run, 260 for 5. Important session now, because when Higgins was in and he was smashing it and it was going away from Worcestershire, they would have felt they were out of it. But they get another one now, I feel they're right back in it. It's Barnard bowls again, but he's slightly full on the leg stump and clipped away by Taylor to backward square I should say. Pennington does the fielding and they pick up a single.
Well, undoubtedly we slowed down a little bit with the absence of Higgins.
Yeah, but you know, suddenly if you, I mean at T 251 for 4, another one now 260 for 6, 260 odd for 6. Suddenly the bowlers are thinking, oh, we might get them out for under 300, to under 330 or something like that, and it changes the mood. I think it's like hold up in players. Callum Ferguson goes to remove a wind ball, one of those bright orange balls that the kids use that somebody's thrown on.
To try and ensure that there is no movement behind the bowler's arm at the end where the volley is currently taking place.
An announcement from the public address announcer here asking for people not to move behind the bowler's arms. Players held up. Barnard in now to carry on. Bowls, and that's outside the off stump and left alone by Tom Smith, who's been very, very circumspect. He's played really well for his 54. He's hardly put a foot wrong. He was dropped before he had 50. Quite an easy chance, it must be said, off D'Oliveira by Vessels at short extra. But he's faced 119 balls for his 54 and he's played very solidly. Very important part of this innings as Barnard is in a bowl. He lets that go again outside the off stump and it's taken by Cox, moving away to his right in front of the first slip, Ricky Vessels.
Excuse me?
It's like I'd gone back in time then when I heard the mobile phone ring with that old-fashioned bell. 261 for 5. Smith 54 not out. Waits as Barnard comes in again. One slip, the only close catcher as Barnard is in. Bowls wide outside the off stump again. This one moving away a little bit further off the pitch, climbing too as Cox takes it. It's been good carrying this surface today, throughout the day. The ball has gone through a good height to Cox most of the time. He's taken many a ball with his fingers pointing upwards, reverse cup as we call it, off the seamers. Barnard once more is in and bowls, and Smith this time did play at it. I think he made as if to pull his bat out of the way at the very last minute, but actually I think he probably had a little dart at that one and he missed it anyway. He stays on 54. It's the end of the over, the 69th of the innings, 27 left in the day. 261 for 5 the Gloucestershire score. They were invited to bat this morning by Worcestershire. No surprise as we started the game under pretty heavy cloud cover here at Cheltenham College. We've had sporadic bursts of sunshine. At the moment not really sunny but much brighter than it has been at certain times of the day, and a good crowd have enjoyed a really interesting day's county cricket as Brett D'Oliveira moves in past Richard Engworth the umpire and bowls to Jack Taylor, who pushes this out on the offside. Ross Whiteley does the fielding at extra cover, there's no run. Good contest, as I say, good old-fashioned cricket contest today, really. It's been interesting stuff. D'Oliveira once more is in, bowls fuller this time to Taylor, who drives up to mid-on where Parnell is the fielder.
That was Radio Gloucestershire saying, is it tea? Well, obviously not. So
they're not listening then?
Well, no, they're trying to get an interview with Chris Cody.
Here's D'Oliveira once more. Shall I finish this over now?
Yes, please do.
Bowls. This one flatter. Drifting in a bit to the batsman. He goes on the back foot and drives out on the offside to Pennington. Deep cover on the boundary, sweeping out there. It's been a busy man while D'Oliveira's been bowling. And Taylor takes a single and goes to 6. No fireworks from him just yet. 262 for 5. As D'Oliveira comes in again and bowls, and this one's a little bit wider, and the same result really. Cut away, this time by Smith, behind square this time, further behind square. Same fielder Pennington, same result, a single. And 263 for 5. D'Oliveira so far 1 for 32. He's in his 10th over. He's bowled pretty well. He's had a couple of chances put down as well. He's in again and bowls now. Quicker, flatter. Almost defeated Taylor on the back foot there. Just got a sort of bottom edge on it. Squirted out on the offside.
Good.
And Oliveira with one ball left in his 10th over. In past umpire Illingworth bowls again there. Slightly more air to that one, and pushed out on the offside by Taylor. No runners. Whiteley does the fielding. 2-6, 3 for 5 off 70 overs. Smith 55, Taylor 6.
Yeah, Smith has been calmed down a bit. I think it's obvious they have been slowed down when Higgins is in that sort of form. He gives confidence to the man at the other end. Now Taylor is capable of doing that himself as well, but he hasn't been in long enough. Dolliver's in conversation. I think he's probably coming off. Or maybe still on. I think Dolliver's bowled well actually. 10 for 32, 10 overs to 32, got a wicket in that as well. Here's Barnard, comes into bowl to Smith. Smith just placed it defensively in front of him. Oliveira, the aforementioned, runs into field. Now then, what's it say here? Oh dear. No news from Cheltenham Civil Service. There's 6 men of Nibley fielding. I think they're up to 8 now. Fast. As Barnard bowls again to Smith. Smith tries to dab it but misses it altogether. The speed eluded him.
If people are just joining us, you probably ought to explain the Cheltenham Civil Service saga.
Cheltenham Civil Service, North Nibley have got 8 men. They're going to Cheltenham Civil Service, but they had a toss and only 6 there. They put North Nibley into field. That was a great bit of captaincy. As Barnard bowls, and that's gone outside the off stump. Yeah, North Nibley is struggling at the moment. In Cheltenham, I would imagine. Get the blame for that, I can tell you. Honestly, I tried so hard this morning to get 11 players, but I resign.
I thought you'd been sacked. I thought you said you'd been sacked.
I hope I have been. With a great result. As here comes Barnard again, bowls. Smith lets it go outside the off stump. I reckon, what do you reckon? I think that another ambulance passes by. This time his lights are going, but it's not making a noise, which is good in a way. Because I think they'll probably get 330. I think they might be all out. You know, I think Worcestershire might have a little dibble at the end. 3 or 4 overs as Barnard bowls again to Smith, and Smith lets it go outside the off stump again. No ball. 265 for 5. That is the 7th no ball, isn't it, Julian Clark? 7th no ball, yeah. So 2 more to the total. It's a bit slurred because you get 1 for a wide and 2 for a no ball, which I've never really understood actually. As Barnard bowls again, Taylor just plays that defensively and quietly in front of him. That's Smith, I beg your pardon. Smith it is. Taylor is much more.
That was my mistake earlier, wasn't it? Smith and Taylor. Taylor wasn't even out there.
Yeah, well, they don't worry too much because Benny Howe will come after this. So they got another attacking partnership in mind as Barnard bowls to Smith. Smith lets it go. They're very defensive over that was. Then it's a play at 1 ball. 13 overs, 2 mains, none for 45 for Barnard, and here comes D'Oliveira as keen as mustard, takes off his jumper. He loves to bowl, D'Oliveira, doesn't he? He loves to be part of the game.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
why wouldn't you,
well,
really?
Of course, yeah.
Career's short, isn't it? You should seize every opportunity. I always used to. Richard Illingworth, I remember his umpiring out there. I remember him saying something to me once when he was playing and I was covering Worcestershire back in the late 80s, early 90s. And we were talking about he got 100 as a night watchman because he was always a decent batter.
Right,
D'Oliveira in bowls and played off the back foot by 10. He got 100 as a night watchman, and he always took the opportunity to go in as a night watchman because he fancied himself as a batter, but he's always down at 8 or 9, and he got this 100, and he said, that's why I go in as a night watchman. I'd never get a chance to get 100 otherwise. You've always got to seize the opportunities that you get. It's D'Oliveira again. bowls, and this time it's driven to Whiteley at extra cover, no run, 265 for 5. And then he did it in a test match. He went in a test match and he got runs as a night watchman. And I remember thinking then, that's a good attitude to have, you know, if you get a chance. So if somebody says, do you want a bowl? You never say, no, I don't want a bowl, because you never know, you might get a hat trick. Oliveira once more, bowls. Shorter this time, and defensively off the back foot, Taylor plays out on the offside. You know, do you want to go up the order? Yes, please, captain. Give me a chance. You never know, do you?
No.
And I think that's a great attitude for a cricketer to have. They used to say that you couldn't get the ball off Ian Botham when he was bowling. He always wanted to bowl. Oliveira again in. Pushed out on the offside by Taylor. 265 for 5. Smith 55, pretty steady since tea. Reached his 50 just before tea. And we're in the 8th over since the interval, and he's only advanced by 5. Taylor's made 6. Oliver into Taylor, bowls, and he pushes out on the offside again. A bit slower now, Oliver. I just feel like he's settled. He feels a little bit more in control.
Yeah, he is. I think Taylor's playing a waiting game though. Taylor's going to do something rash any minute. I can tell you. He'll either be a 6 or out.
One slip, and on that drive. On the offside, just Oliveira bowls. This one fizzed through a little bit quicker. Taylor on the back foot pushes up on the offside. Maiden. That one. Maiden Oliveira. Good from him. 11 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 32. Barnard 13 overs, 2 maidens, no wicket for 45. A little bit more expensive. Leach has got 3 wickets. Oliveira's got 1. Pennington has got 1. 265 for 5. The total after 72 overs.
Right, Oliver's still got his jumper, I assume. I think it's good. He's there holding down an end, isn't he, Oliveira? At the college end.
To be fair, he's taken a wicket and had 2 catches dropped. You'd probably say he's the most threatening.
Yeah. Now, going on for that theme about taking opportunity, as Barnard comes into bowl to Smith, who's on 55. Excuse me, and they go Bisfield and they go for a single, goes on to 56. I only got 100 in my life, and that was against Datchworth seconds. Don't laugh. 120 not out I was. I got lots of 70s, 80s, 90s, 96 I was out for. Got 100, and that was because I was but we were struggling. He was struggling. 120 not out, and in the local paper, the headline was Tunner Robert rewrites RR's record books. And that's Cook gets them. Taylor plays that well in front of his crease.
You've never forgotten that.
I haven't, I've still got the cutting, yeah. It was the local paper in those days, it was 1970s, 80s. You used to have every local cricket club used to put their names in, you used to have the leaderboard. And I got 100, I was top of it that week. Never got it again. I got... in those days, if you got more than 20, your name appeared in the paper, in the cricket section. That's a very strange delivery. It was a great take by Cox. It was down the leg side, and I think that was a very wayward delivery bowled by Barnard. I'm sure you've got a double 100, have you?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. 176, not out.
Oh. If only your partners had stayed with you.
No, I think it was the end of the overs.
Taylor again just checks his drive.
Yeah, it was the end of the 50 overs or whatever it was. I can't remember. It wasn't the highest standard I ever played.
So how many hundreds have you got? I bet you know.
About 30, I think.
About 30. About 30. That's good.
In all cricket, but I'd probably say you'd only say about half of them would be,
good stuff.
Good league cricket.
Yeah.
Maybe 20.
Right. You don't count the beach then. Beach at Poles F doesn't count. No. Pardon? 176, not out.
Not out, yeah.
He's already said that. Say it again if he wants. Who was that for?
That was for
Old Reptonians?
No. That was actually for a club in Loughborough.
Oh right, okay. As Barnard bowls again and Taylor drives back. That's another maiden, I think, isn't it? Another maiden. One run off it, I beg your pardon. 266 for 5.
So 266 for 5, 73 overs gone, 23 left in the day. What did you say, 380?
I did. I was
possible
a bit ambitious.
if you're Taylor or you're
well, Taylor gets going. He's very circumspect at the moment.
Possible, but it's been attritional cricket, you could say, isn't it, in some ways, but good proper 4-day cricket.
Yeah,
in front of a proper 4-day crowd. Here's Brett D'Oliveira bowling from the college end, full of length and driven by Smith. Thinks about a run, particularly as the bowler misfields, but then decides against it as fielder Parnell moves quickly across from mid-off. 266 for 5 then. D'Oliveira again in bowls, and forward comes Smith, pushing back to the bowler again.
From here,
good little spell for Worcestershire since
tea. I was going to say, from here,
a bit of control.
D'Oliveira looks like every ball is drivable, but it just sort of dips a little bit.
A bit of dip, yeah. But good little spell. They've been tight since tea. I think Alan Richardson will be pleased with that. As D'Oliveira bowls again, and Smith pushes back up the pitch. They would have, I saw them gathered down there before the start of the session. Alan Richardson got all the bowlers around him, and they obviously went through a few plans, and I'm sure one of the things they'd say is, we need an hour where we're not giving much away. It's D'Oliveira bowls. This one's a little bit shorter, and it's cut away, but only for a single. Out to Pennington, in front of the Thatcher's tent, as we've christened it. Not sure if it is the Thatcher's tent, it just happens to be behind.
Yeah, there's advertised Thatcher's all the time.
Other siders are available. That's what they always say. It always sounds a bit professional if you say that. Other siders are available. 267 for 5. Anyway, the tent on the far side in front of the hospital. Yes, D'Oliveira once again bowls, and this is driven. That's a really good shot. It's the first one that Taylor's really gone for. Given a bit of width, that was what the key was, and he threw his hands through it and struck it uppishly, but, well, very obviously, but with great control, no danger at all, and one bounce for down to the sort of deep extra cover boundary, which is not long. Beautiful shot, actually, lovely timing. Made a lovely crisp sound on the bat, that shot. Taylor's first boundary goes to 10. 271 for 5. D'Oliveira in to complete the over, and he's got him. Taylor, good bit of bowling from D'Oliveira. Didn't take the option on that last ball of bowling a fast flat one, having just been hit for a 4. Threw it up, and Taylor took the bait, drove it, and picked out Parnell at mid-on. Well, if I say on the edge of the circle, there's no circle, but that's exactly where he would have been. And that's a useful wicket for D'Oliveira, who's earned it. He's bowled pretty well. 271 for 6.
I was going to say, when he hit that previous shot, I said he's going to be out this ball, and I was right, because he's just impetuous. I mean, he didn't play the ball on its merits. He's hit the second ball very well, and he thought he'd do the same again, and he didn't. And that's a body blow for Gloucestershire, actually, because they've got Benny Howe coming in next, which he's a very attacking player, of course. But 6 wickets down. It's not good.
So good from D'Oliveira, his second wicket. And Benny Howe is the new batsman. D'Oliveira's finished his over. That was the last ball of the 74th. 271 for 6 then. And I'll just give you the bowling figures in full if you're just joining us. Leach, 15 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 58. Pennington, 10 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 38. Finch, 10 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 54. Parnell, 13 overs, 4 maidens, no wicket for 35. Barnard, 14 overs, 2 maidens, no wicket for 46. And D'Oliveira, 12 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 37. And the men out for Gloucestershire: Hammond without scoring, Roderick for 40, Bracey for 8, Dent for 58, Higgins for 76, and Taylor for 10. 2 wickets in each session.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about this, because Gloucestershire are in danger, of imploding. They need, these two have to stay together. They have to stick together, these two. That was the end of an over, and Finch is going to have the ball in his hands. He's starting his 11th over, 10 overs, none for 54. He has been expensive, But Howell and Smith are really the last two absolutely recognised batsmen. David Payne can do a bit at number 9, but really Matt Taylor and old what's his name? Bamba. Yeah. Is right, here is Finch bowling to Smith, and Smith always beat. It's just, they've got the heebie-jeebies at the moment, Gloucestershire. No doubt about it.
I think this is a
Good spell.
brave move by Gloucestershire here. What the bowling Finch, he's gone for 45 off 10. He's been the least consistent of the bowlers. He's a young lad learning his trade. But as I said earlier, if you don't back these guys, they can't get better. And I think it's an interesting decision that they've said we stick with our plan. We're going to go with him.
Well, 2 good balls to start these over. They defensively backed by Tom Smith.
Because it would be easy to say, oh no, we'll go with Parnell, or we'll go with Leach, we'll go with the experience, and if you do that, youngsters are never going to grow, are they? So I'm all in favour of that. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Well, as always, you've got to learn. You've got to learn hard. It's no point being in the team and bowling 3 overs and taking off if it goes 6 or 7 and over. As Finch aborts his run up because there are people moving behind the bowler's arm. It's just, they're little kids out there actually. They're probably children of the Cheltenham staff, in
fact. Almost certainly called Checkets.
Finch bowls and Smith thinks about a short, sharp single, but it's turned back, rightly so, by Benny Howell. I mean, it's good for the fielders out there to look up and they see Benny Howell on naught. If they can get rid of either of these two before 300, then the innings is in danger of collapsing. And they would fall short of the 330, 340, which is about a par score, I would suggest. As Finch bowls again, Smith dabs it down to 3rd man, brings Benny Howell down to face. Smith goes on to 58.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it, that people say, and you think, well, maybe not, but it is a quick scoring round.
Yeah.
It's a short boundary on one side. You probably would say that it's worth 30 or 40 runs, wouldn't you? So 350 is more like 300 or something.
We see massive scores here.
Yeah.
So Brendan Nash he was knocked out for 199. It's a strange one. As Howell faces his first ball and Finch bowls now, and Howell gets off the mark straight away, down to 3rd man. The man making it for 2. In fact, it's gone for 4.
That's what I mean.
That's what you need, a bit of luck. The fielder, who is it down there? Number 3rd, Barnard. He actually got the ball in his hand and he got tangled up with the rope and the ball just spilled out over it.
But on a bigger ground it might not have been 4, that's what I mean.
4 runs, yeah.
And also the outfield's very quick as well.
It is quick now. It's certainly quickened out throughout the day. We had the covers on at tea just for a couple of minutes when a light sprinkling happened, but Finch bowls again. And Howe defends that well.
Decent over.
Yeah, not bad. 11 overs, none for 59. And there's going to be a change from the chapel there. No, Donovan is carrying on. I think spinners like this, they like to bowl long spells, don't they, to get into the groove of it.
Yeah, well, especially D'Oliveira. I mean, he was really struggling 5-6 weeks ago by his own admission with bat and ball, and then had a really good game down at Cardiff against Glamorgan where he got 9 wickets and 100 in the same game. And since then he's just had a little bit more confidence, and today so far it won't have done him any harm. He comes in now and bowls to Smith, who tucks this one away on the onside. One thing I've noticed about him, they get a single, 277 for 60. He's bowled a few short balls, but like most leg spinners, you expect to see them over pitching. Yeah. I can't really remember more than 1 full toss, I don't think, which is good, really good. usually just say to batters, you know, sit in against the leg spinner and wait. He'll bowl you a bad one eventually. It's a difficult art. And he's in and bowls. And he does bowl a full toss. There you are.
Straight back.
Just couldn't have set it up any better. But pushed straight to mid-off. Didn't cost him anything. No run. Smith 59. Howell the striker on 4. And stands very purposefully as D'Oliveira's in and bowls to him, and he drives for 4 through. Huge foot movement, Butler-esque. The wrists there. Looks. I wonder if he's a hockey player. I reckon he's played a bit of hockey the way he played that.
Well, he's a very good natural sportsman.
Yeah, that was a real wristy.
I tell you what he does.
As he hit it, the wrist just folded.
I tell you the sport he does play is rackets. Very good rackets player, Benny.
Yeah, well, I reckon he's played a bit of hockey in his life. A few rackets, so he went to a posh school then. He must have done. There you go, D'Oliveira bowls. And he plays that out on the onside. They only play rackets at posh schools, rackets.
They do.
Rackets and 5s.
They only play 5s at Eton, don't they?
No, they play 5s at Shrewsbury and Repton and KES Birmingham, and yeah, there's a few places around. Eton 5s and rugby 5s, there's 2 sorts. D'Oliveira bowls, and this is kind of squirted away uppishly on the offside, but there's a massive gap between extra cover and backward point, so he gets a single as Pennington does the fielding on the boundary. 282 for 6. Howell goes to 9. Smith 59. 1 ball left in D'Oliveira's 13th over, and he comes in now and bowls short outside the off stump, cut by Smith. Takes a single, gets to 60. And keeps the strike at the end of the over. 283 for 6, and D'Oliveira 2 for 44 now.
20 overs remaining in the day. It is 10 to 5. We may even have a 6 o'clock finish here, you know. That would be incredibly unusual.
Amazing, wouldn't it? 6 o'clock finish.
Yeah.
Quick interview. I might even make the in-laws party.
I bet they can't wait.
Well, if I send a text saying I'm on the way, no doubt the atmosphere will change at the party.
Here's Finch bowls, and it's turned away by Smith. Just a little dinky little push in that gap between cover point and gully, and he gets on to 61. 284 for 6.
The trouble is, you say a quick interview, there's no such thing, is there, really?
Well, sometimes, I mean, Gloucestershire are very good, because Richard Dawson comes out and says, who do you want? And we normally say the first one out, but I mean, I think it might be Smith, it could be Higgins, it could be Dent. Wait and see what's going to happen, really. Howell faces, he's on 9, Finch lopes into bowl to him and defends purposefully. D'Oliveira does the fielding, rushing in as he always does. It's interesting, this one. I don't know who you're going to get, really.
I will probably speak to one of the Worcestershire coaching staff, I think, about things have panned out today, whether they went to plan. It's been a lovely day for the spectators, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's been warm enough to sit in shirt sleeves and not too hot. The next 2 or 3 days could test them out in that regard.
Finch bowls again. Howell just waits and just clips it behind square for, in his eyes, an easy peasy single, down to up to 10 for him. 285 for 6. 15 runs shy of a 3rd batting bonus point. Gloucestershire and Worcestershire are at the moment 2 apiece, which I think is probably fair enough. Although I don't like the way the bonus points are slewed against the batting points. I mean, well, anyway, it's a long story. As Finch goes to Smith, Smith is treated to a bouncer, under which he ducks. He gets a round of applause, that bouncer. I think it's good tactic. Now, on the leg side boundary, they have a man just in front of the umpire, sort of deep square leg, and a deep long leg has come right a long way round. I don't think Smith is in the position to hook too much. He's not an aggressive batsman, but he's a very intelligent cricketer. He's facing now on 61. Cuts down towards 3rd man, just for a single. Third man runs into field. 62 to him. 287 for 6. Surely that is. Is it 286, 287? 286, sorry. The scoreboard is very, very quick over there. It's linked to the computer at the end there. It's automatic. And often it doesn't work. But it's working today. When was it? On Thursday, on the last day of the Leicestershire game, it was frozen. And then suddenly it came up with old scorecards. It was bizarre. As Finch bowls again, and that's played into the mid-wicket area by Howe. They're going to get 2 for that. He gets on to 12, 288 for 6. End of the over. Now what happened was the scoreboard froze, and suddenly it was putting up people like Cameron Bancroft was playing for Gloucester. It was insane, wasn't it? And then it had Payne up there and had a completely old scorecard. It entertained the crowd. Entertained the crowd. Then it froze again. Then it went off. And we had Julian, the scorer, for about an hour. Carnage, wasn't it, Julian? Carnage.
288 for 6 here with D'Oliveira to continue from the college end. Just a little bit cooler now as the evening takes hold. It's late afternoon. Late afternoon. D'Oliveira feels slightly more spread. He's dropped his long off back a little bit now as he comes in and bowls short to Smith, who cuts outside the off stump. He's played that shot. I've lost track of how many times he's gone back and just chopped D'Oliveira out to that fielder at backward point.
The ball's there for him, isn't it?
For a single. We have one slip, Darryl Mitchell. Ricky Vessel's on the drive, short extra. And Callum Ferguson back at a sort of deepish long off. Deepish mid off, I should say, as D'Oliveira bowls, and the same as the ball before. Short outside off stump, cut away. Pennington does the fielding. Needs to just try and straighten up a little bit to prevent that simple single being taken, as it consistently has been. 290 for 6 now in the 78th over. D'Oliveira in again off this slightly longer run up that he's developed. Bounces in, and that one's pushed out on the offside by Smith and fielded by Vessels. And there's no addition to the score. 2 bonus points each so far, as Bob was just saying. As D'Oliveira once more bowls, and forward comes Smith, very studiously pushes back up the pitch to the bowler. 3 wickets for Joe Leach today, 2 for D'Oliveira, 1 for Dylan Pennington. No wickets yet for Barnard or Parnell or Finch. As D'Oliveira in again bowls to Smith, who once again drives. Doesn't really time it, straight back to the bowler, does his own fielding. And we saw Ben Cox pick up his 300th dismissal for Worcestershire earlier today. It was a big milestone for him. D'Oliveira bowls, and this one is pushed back up the pitch again by Smith, so a tidy over after the first 2 balls were taken for singles. D'Oliveira now 14 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 46, pretty tidy.
Pretty tidy, yeah. I think they'll keep him on.
290 for 6.
I mean, he's bowling well, D'Oliveira. He obviously enjoys what he's doing out there, but at the moment he's taking his jumper. I think he might be coming off. I don't know. Who knows what's in the eye of the captain? But it's Finch is continuing from the college lawn end, bowling to Howe, who's on 13. Howe might be tempted to take him on if he bowls it short. As Finch bowls now, and he goes for a short, sharp single, which is easily taken. There's so much room, isn't there, for Finch, so there's singles all over the place. Now it goes on to 14, 291 for 6.
Yeah, with sweepers out on both sides, almost like a one-day field, apart from the slip.
Yeah. Still got a gully in place. I mean, anywhere on the leg side, you can just push a single. As Finch comes in again. Bowles and Smith. Ooh. That was a good delivery actually, because it had a bit of pace on it, and Smith tried to cut it and missed, and Cox took it at head height. That's better from Finch. So Finch did play the under 19s 2 years ago,
Last year, I think.
right?
Yeah.
It's a very good grounding. As Finch comes to bowl to Smith again. And just dabs it down to third man. Another single to Smith, another run to the ball, 292 for 6 now. It is very quiet after this post-tea session, which is okay. Neither side making too much advantage. Gloucestershire, I suppose, are trying to bed in. They want to bat tomorrow, but they need to get, I think, 330 today if they possibly can. Perhaps even nearer 350. And turned away by Howell again. He thinks about going back for 2. They should make it for 2. The throw comes in. It's a poor one, but they make it easily. Howell 16, 294 for 6. Just edging closer to the 300 mark. However, as we always say, you haven't seen both sides of the bat on this to see what it's really like. Finch trundles in again. Howell defends assiduously. So the ball is now, what is it? It's now 70. So it's only 1 over away from the new ball. Which they'll
Would you take it?
They will take it, I'm sure.
Not so sure. D'Oliveira bowling well.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because D'Oliveira is bowling well. But surely you take the new ball. I would have thought. D'Oliveira bowls 1 more over. So it's check driven to end the end of the over from Finch. That's probably his last one before the new ball is taken. It should be. I think he will be taken. Actually.
I don't think he will.
Really? All right. Okay.
I might be wrong, obviously, but I just think it's a period now where D'Oliveira's bowling well and he won't want a new ball, and they're not giving too much away at the other end.
No.
Whereas if they take the new ball and because it's harder, it goes further off the bat, etc., they could concede 20 runs quite quickly.
Yeah.
And any initiative they've managed to gather in the last half an hour or so will be lost. But I could be wrong. I don't know how they're thinking. That would be my thinking. And it's always there to take if you need it.
Yeah.
294 for 6 anyway. D'Oliveira with the last over of the first 80, which this ball must be used for. Bowls to Smith, and that's a good line length. And Smith is forward and pushing to Vessels in that short extra position where he dropped Smith just before tea off the same bowler. D'Oliveira once more is in, bowls, and Smith is again forward. This time just pushes out on the onside this time, where Joe Leach comes in to do the fielding. So nip and tuck at the moment between these two teams. It's been pretty competitive. There have been phases where either team has got on top, but generally it's been fairly even. Gloucestershire just edging it probably. D'Oliveira bowls again, and forward comes Smith to a good length delivery, just bang on where D'Oliveira wants to be, that one. Just pushes it away on the onside. Cox comes round from behind the stumps to do the fielding. D'Oliveira again then. In, bowls, shorter this time, Smith on the back foot, but straighter, so he can't play his favourite cut shot out to Pennington, and he just steers it with a straight bat to Whiteley. He's in a wide-ish cover position. D'Oliveira once more. Bowls to Smith, who's forward again, pushing out from the onside. Good over so far, 1 ball left. He just wanted to see if he can get out of this over with a maiden, increase a little bit of pressure, and then we'll see whether they take that new ball. He's been prone to dropping his last ball short. Let's see what happens. He comes into bowl to Smith now, and he doesn't. He gets it right on the spot. It's a cracking good maiden over from Brett D'Oliveira there, given that both batsmen are in, and Smith particularly is set on 64. He bowls a maiden, 15 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 46, and 294 for 6.
Right.
I think they're taking it, because I've just seen them throw the ball to Richard Illingworth. So my ideas are wrong. Yeah, they're taking the Newey, definitely. And it's going to Finch. So they're taking the new ball and no change of bowling. Now, will D'Oliveira stay on now? Surely not. I'd expect to see Leach at that end.
Well, you know, spinners
Might be
do.
wrong.
The second new ball has been taken by Worcestershire.
I have seen spinners use the new ball effectively, but I think he's probably had his fill now. 15 overs. Oh well, 2 maidens, 2 for 46. No, he's now given high fives. He's now sent back to sweep on the cover boundary. So I think he's had his chances. Honestly, good spell though, very good spell. Finch with the new ball in his hand. This is a bit of a gamble. Comes into bowl to Howell, 16. And that's run straight away. D'Oliveira runs round to field. They keep it down to 1. No, they're going for 2. Oh, that was been a... I think Finch actually was in the wrong place then. He got the ball between him and the stumps. I think
That's what they do now.
I know it's wrong, isn't it?
Well, if you take it, like keepers do it as well,
Yeah.
like Butler did in the World Cup final.
Yeah.
If you take the ball and break the stumps, it's proved that it's quicker than if you stand behind and let the ball pass the stumps and then take it back. And as we've seen with the run-outs, it's just a frame or two, isn't it, can make a difference. So that's what they do. What it does stop you doing is occasionally letting it go and it hits the stumps direct.
Well, that's what I've always been told to do as a keeper of old, and that's another single which is taken by Howell. It was on to 18, 297 for 6.
But I think it has been, obviously they try everything, don't they? It's been proved to save time if you do that. But as you say, what it does prevent is the direct hit, doesn't it? Which is obviously quicker than anything. Well, judging by the player's reaction.
He would have been in, I think he would have been in, but I think it would have hit the stumps.
Yeah, maybe. They work everything out on percentages, don't they?
Sometimes percentages are wrong.
That's what I tried to tell my mum when I'd done my chemistry exams.
Oh, hit on the pads. Oh, there's a massive shout, and the finger stays firmly in umpire Lloyd's pocket. You can't see from here. Obviously, you can't see from here. I don't think the wicketkeeper joined in with too much enthusiasm.
He hadn't gone far forward. It's just obviously he must have been slipping down the leg side a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
he had a look, didn't he, the umpire? It wasn't one of those where he dismissed it straight away. He had a look.
Thought about it.
He's a batter, you see. Illingworth would have given it. Graham Lloyd was a batter. Bowling umpires and batting umpires.
I don't really see a wicket-keeping umpire. That's played easily by Smith. Now the trouble is they got D'Oliveira posted right back on the cover boundary. He's off on a single to him. George Sharp was a wicket-keeper. Yeah.
Ray Julian.
Yes, Ray Julian.
And he gave him out. He loved to give him out, Ray Julian.
Lives
Gave 8 LBs in one innings once.
Lives in Worcestershire.
Yeah.
I saw him at the Worcestershire over 70s match against Surrey.
Other wicket-keeping umpires, that's a good one, that.
No,
Ian Gould.
Ian Gould, yes, correct, yes. Very popular one. And that's a fortuitous shot.
Twitter should go mad now, shouldn't it? Wicket-keeping umpires. Tweet us, I bet we've missed them.
Yeah.
At Frank Watson 58, at Bob Hunt Sport on Twitter. Wicket-keeping umpires. We've had cricketing pilots. That seems a long time ago now.
Yeah, miles away.
Cricketing pilots we had this morning.
Yeah.
Wicket-keeping
umpires. Sharp, Gould.
Colin Croft. Who do we have? Colin Croft.
We had
Ricky Elcock.
He loves his planes. Finch.
Ruben Spira.
To Smith. Smith gets another single down to the third man. And that is the 300 up for Gloucestershire. Another batting bonus point. I just got to say, I thought Finch's fault. The field was set and there were singles all over the place. And I think Finch has probably had his lot.
Yeah, maybe. 300 for 6 then. Hammond caught Cox bowled Leach 0 for 1. Roderick caught Ferguson bowled Pennington 40, 70 for 2, 86 for 2 at lunch. Bracey caught Vessels bowled Leach 8, 92 for 3. Dent caught Cox bowled Leach 58, 125 for 4. At tea, Gloucestershire were 251 for 4 off 64 overs, and since then Higgins caught Cox, bowled D'Oliveira 76, and Taylor caught Parnell, bowled D'Oliveira 10. That was 271 for 6. It's now 300 for 6. And as I suggested, we are going to see Joe Leach with the new ball from the Chapel end.
Yes, didn't bowl for the Chapel end before.
He hasn't bowled from this end before, and he's going to be bowling to Tom Smith, who's on 66. Leach moving from left to right as we watch. Burley man bowls and Smith drives at a fullish length delivery. Didn't really time it, runs up to mid on where Parnell does the fielding. So Finch 14 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 74. He's been quite expensive in the context of the game. But as we say, there's only one place for a young bowler to learn, and that's out there in the middle. And he's got to go through these tough times when you're making the step up into first 11 cricket. And they backed him. Here's Leach in again, bowls, and he beats Smith outside the off stump. That one really pushed at that one. I think it went away a little bit. Cox took it low down to his right, but he got away with it.
Yeah.
Been a solid innings from Tom Smith. Not tried to do anything particularly outrageous. He's just stuck around. He's played very sensibly and solidly for his team, and he's got them into a good position.
I think he's
He might go on to 3 figures. Yeah, he has played extremely well. Yeah, Leach in again and bowls, and again he pushes out on the onside. This time he does get a run. It's a good run because he sees that the left-handed Parnell has to move to his right to do the fielding, which he does, and he then sends in a throw which was aimed for Cox, but in the end hit Benny Howell as he went through. I think it hit him in the middle of the back. He looks a bit surprised, perplexed. An apology from Parnell. Bit of amusement amongst the fielders. A single to Smith, who goes to 67. He's faced 164 balls. Proper championship innings from him. As Leach comes in now to bowl to Howell, who is forward, pushing that one out on the offside to Ross Whiteley.
Well, apart from that one drop, I think Tom Smith's been impeccable.
Yeah, he's played really well. Just exactly the sort of innings that his team required.
Yeah.
Played second fiddle when Ryan Higgins was taking the attack to Worcestershire, and has just, well, he when Dent was out, Smith just took over that role, didn't he? The glue that's kept the innings together. As Leach bowls, absolutely does
Completely
how it all
held it,
ends
yeah.
up. He's walking down the pitch looking to play it. In the end, I think he gave up on it as soon as it pitched, and it went away, I think, off the seam. Cox moved to his right anyway. As beaten as any batsman has been all day by that one. But it's a new ball, and it will do a bit while the seam's proud, that's for sure. And Joe Leach will hit the deck and try and get that lateral movement. He comes in again now. Bowls to Howell, who's taken the pad. There's a share to catch it, maybe got a little nick on it. Lobbed up in the air, there was nobody there. D'Oliveira came in to do the fielding. End of the over, good over from Joe Leach. 1 run off it, 301 for 6 off 82. 14 left in the day.
Yeah. Well, it has been an interesting day. I think, as it stands, I think Gloucestershire just have the upper hand because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be a very, very hot day. We know that. It's interesting because I just think that Gloucestershire got too many runs at the moment. I mean, they got 300 in 90, 82 overs, which is quite a lot in Championship cricket. And I just think they probably got the upper hand at the moment. However, you never know until tomorrow comes. And it's going to be older Pennington replacing his mate Finch. And I think that's a wise decision because it wasn't going that well for old Mr. Finch. Yeah, so let's see what he can do with the ball in his hand. The new ball, it's only 3 overs old. No, this is the 3rd over with it, and he comes into bowl now. And a swish and a wish, a swish and a definite miss. It's an interesting situation. I just think that Gloucestershire, if they don't lose another wicket or just one more, they've certainly won the day. Yeah, I think that's probably the situation. As I see it, as Pennington comes in again. Bonnie's 11th over, and it's a nothing ball really. Whoops. How do you see it then? How do you see the old gate going?
Whole day.
Yeah.
The whole day, I'd say, yeah, Gloucestershire probably a little bit on top, but not, as I say, because it's a quick scoring ground, that 301.
No.
If they were 260 for 6 at New Road or at Bristol, you might think, well, actually, it's fairly even, Stephen.
I think it's, yeah, they got perhaps too many runs on the board, but you'll see, as Pennington bowls, and that's a good delivery. Left well by Smith, I have to say. Yeah, it's been a good day's cricket, I've got to say that. It's been a good day's cricket. It's been attritional, and yet there's been 300 runs scored, so it's got something for everyone, really.
Yeah, it's been a good day. It's a very enjoyable day's cricket.
Always a good day's cricket at Cheltenham. It's never dull at Cheltenham. Proper cricket. Never dull at Cheltenham, did you?
Have we seen different sorts of innings? Higgins lit it up a little bit. Dent and Taylor both play very solidly.
Smith facing. Again goes to Oliveira, who loves that backward cover position. I suppose he's made that his own, has he, in Worcestershire's side?
You always put your best fielder there, don't you?
Yeah, just behind square on the offsides. You tend to put your best fielder, or some perhaps in the covers.
Those are the best two.
Yeah.
Whiteley and Oliveira. And Barnard's a very good fielder.
Smith faces. It's left outside the off stump. Well, I said before, Smith knows where his off stump is. He's been out there. How many balls has he been out there for, Julian Clark? 69. 169. I thought 69 would be a few too many if he on 67. 169 balls he's been out there for. How can you tell me so quickly? Ah, well played, I see. I see. He's very good as Julian Clark. Very good. Don't argue with the Oracle. Always right. Smith faces on 67, the last ball of Pennington's over, and defends.
Yeah, good over from Pennington. Tidy. And I think Worcestershire have been fairly tidy. I think you're quite right to say that Gloucestershire have been scored. They've obviously got their 300. They've been on top in certain periods, particularly that period when Higgins and Smith were going so well.
Well, that was a turning point, wasn't it? I think that if you take away that sort of hour they were together.
But Worcestershire, you know, the wheels haven't come off at any stage. They've kept things fairly tidy. They've been well organised, well captained. Here's Joe Leach, the captain, bowling to Howell, who pushes this out on the offside. And that, you know, it's an old saying, players always say it, imagine the score. Jeff Boycott always says it, doesn't he? Add two more. If you did add two more, that certainly looked like a very respectable day's cricket from the visitors. So we'll see. 13 overs left. It's getting a bit darker. Ball's quite new. Be surprised if they don't pick another one up tonight. Here's Leach. He's in and bowls, and Howell lets that go outside the off stump with one of those little swings of the swishes of the bat, where he picks it up and does a little circle with the bat.
There is a dark cloud overhead. I don't think it's gonna. No, it's only coming on. There's light behind. It's been that sort of day here.
A little bit darker, but a bit of a breeze blowing. Been a lovely day here at Cheltenham.
It has
cricket festival
at its
best, absolutely. Here's Leach again, striding in, bowls to Howell outside the off stump, leaves that alone, a bit wider this time. He's on the walk again, he's done that a couple of times, but despite his positive intent, he's unable to do much with that, as Leach sort of saw him coming and pushed it a little bit wider off stump. Two slips, the only close catchers. Got a gully, deepish gully. Extra cover. Mid off, mid on. Sweeper on the leg side boundary, long leg. Leach again. He's in. Bowls and clipped away on the leg side. Lovely shot by Howell through mid wicket. over-pitched by Leach. Picks up 2 as Oliveira moves around from deep square leg to do the fielding. Good throw back from him, as ever, to Ben Cox. Ben Cox, who picked up his 300th dismissal for Worcestershire today. Quite a milestone for the keeper. Makes you feel old. Doesn't seem that long since he was plucked from school when he was still in the 6th form at Bromsgrove School to keep wicket for Worcestershire in the first team. And now there he is with 300 dismissals.
Is it a public school or a state school?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. It's another one. It's another one. Yeah, you can't get away from it, can you? Here's Joe Leach. He bowls to Howell, who gets a thickish outside edge on this one, all along the ground, past the diving backward point, and picks up 2. There's troubles. I just get the impression Howell now, as he moved on to 24, he's just played well. I just think he fancies it now. He's just beginning to get those feet going. He wants to get on with it a little bit. They'll have a plan as well. They'll have had a chat at tea or when he came in, and they say, what are we looking for at the end of the day? And it could well be 350.
I think it's probably right.
Could well be 350. 305 for 6 now. 13 overs left. Leach is in, bowls, and Howell gets 2 more here. So he tucks this off his legs behind square. It's good running as Finch comes round to do the fielding. He had come quite a long way up from long. Howell, 2 more to him. Goes to 26. 12 overs left in the day. 307 for 6.
And they do that ubiquitous punch, which all batsmen do down there. I don't know why they do it. It's go down to the village level. I don't know why. I can see no point in it whatsoever. As a coach, do you encourage it?
It doesn't bother me. But what I was going to say is, I've giggled about this many times. I can remember the first time that somebody did it to me.
Right.
So I was batting in a club game with somebody who was less than half my age.
A young buck.
And at the end of an over, and I just hit a 4 of them, and he walked up and did it, and I kind of jumped back and
You floored him.
what on earth do you think I'm doing, young man?
Yeah, I've never punched gloves.
Yeah, no, they all do it now. That's fine, isn't it? Nothing wrong with it. Bit of support.
That's right. Pennington continues from the college lawn end, and that's ignored by Smith. He's on 67, 307 for 6. That's the total for Gloucestershire. The sun comes out weakly, I've got to say, but you can just see the shadows.
I've just had a tweet from somebody I used to play with who's younger than me, and he said it wasn't me. No, Barry Clements, it was not you. It was up in Derbyshire.
Oh dear. Here is Pennington bowls again. Oh, that's cut. That's a very good shot from Smith. It was very high. The ball bounced extremely high. And Smith, not a tall man, you can see he just leapt in the air and cut it behind square for 2.
If it had been you, Barry, I'd probably have fallen over. Good to see Barry Clements still scoring runs for Elmley Castle, I think, in the Cotswold Lords League. Good to see.
Well, you play in the Birmingham. The Birmingham is a very strong league, isn't it?
Yeah. I played in 2 national knockout winning sides when I played in the Birmingham League. Yeah.
Did you win?
For Old Hill, yeah, won 2 on the trot. Won 3 on the trot actually, but I was injured on the 3rd time.
Pennington bowls, and Smith lets it go outside the off stump, and Cox makes a dramatic stop, I would say. Well, we went to the Foster Cricket Club, won the
village.
1994, something like that. It was the village knockout, but now they're a very big club, Foster. They run 5 teams in there.
I've heard of that. We won. 94 was one of the years that Old Hill won the club thing.
The whole of Foster turned out to watch it. It was not a bad crowd in Lords that day, and they returned home with the cup. As that's bold, and they think about a single, but Smith wanted it, but it was turned down, rightly so, by Howard at the non-striker's end. Smith wants to get off 69, doesn't he, really? 309 for 6. Howell on 26. Looking casual, Howell is leaning on his bat. Got a long run up Pennington, I don't. Now he accelerates, puts his chest back, and bowls, and goes innocuously through to Cox. I've just noticed when he does run up, he just, on the last few steps, he sticks his chest back quite some way, actually.
Yeah, I think it's
that's a habit he's got, isn't it?
decent approach. I don't think he takes too much out of himself.
No.
He moves well actually across the ground, I think, in his run.
Yeah, it's just a sort of habit he's got. Well, perhaps I just noticed it, but he comes in, holds the ball low down, and now he comes in. Now he puts his chest back, and that's check driven by Smith. No run, 309 for 6. End of the over. 10 overs to go.
Yeah, tight little spell, cagey spell from both sides. Gloucestershire, you get the impression that Howell's straining at the leash a little bit.
He is a bit.
Smoothly going along. Worcestershire just hoping that if they can peg away, they'll pick up another one or maybe two before the end of the day. 11 overs remaining. Joe Leach with a new ball in his hands, just 5 overs old this ball. He's asking some questions of the batsman. We've got 2 slips in, and interesting period. Like you could look back at the end of a 4-day game, can't you, and say that was an interesting spell. That little spell after lunch on the first day or whatever, and who knows whether they'll look back on this as a crucial spell. Here's Leach, bowls to Howell, who takes a single, just pushing this one out on the onside, and he goes on to 27, 310 for 6, 3 bonus points to Gloucestershire, 2 to Worcestershire. Oliveira comes in off the boundary on the leg side for the right-handed Smith.
Well, they've got 24 overs to get bonus points, haven't they? They should make 350, 400 probably out the question if they're going to wicket or 2.
Here's Leach in once more, bowls, and he beats Smith outside the off stump. Another good one. To be beating a guy who's on 69 as comprehensively as that at this stage suggests that there was quite a bit of movement from that one, I think. As I say,
you should.
Impossible for us to be authoritative about that from this position. But nonetheless, good delivery from Joe Leach.
It's been a very pleasant way to spend a Sunday afternoon, isn't it, in the cricket at Cheltenham?
Absolutely. Here's Leach again, bowls, and Smith pushes defensively out on the offside. Barnard comes in to do the fielding. There's no run, so 310 for 6. We're in the 86th over of the day. Smith has 69, Howell has 27.
Well, these two came together when the score was 271, so they put on 39.
Yeah. Leach 3 for 66 in his 18th over, probably the pick of the Worcestershire bowlers. Oliveira's bowled well for his 2 wickets as well. Leach bowls again to Smith, pushes out on the offside. And my first impressions of this pitch, and I always, as you said before, you always say, I'm not going to comment until we've seen both sides, but it looks a good service to me.
Fine, yeah.
There's been nothing extravagant.
Nothing's kept low.
You wouldn't expect.
They haven't.
I think it's been good surface.
They haven't exploited the bumper too much. It hasn't risen too high. It's perfect.
Here's Leach, 2 balls left in his 18th over. Bowls, and that one's wide. Probably the worst ball he's bowled. And it's sliced away for 4 behind. Point on the offside by Smith, who finally gets off 69. It's his first scoring shot for some time.
It has. Well, Smith's broke his Julian. He broke his personal best with 82 last week, didn't he, against Leicestershire? 84. Okay, so he's just 11 runs shy of beating his personal best for the 2nd innings in a row.
Nice. 73's on. Last ball of Leach's 18th over coming up. In he comes, bowls, and he drives this straight back at the bowler, who does his own fielding and doesn't cling on to it, doesn't catch, it's driven into the ground, but nonetheless a good stop by Joe Leach. 314 for 6. Smith has 73, Howell has 27, and we have 10 overs left in the day.
And we are going to have them in time, I think. So it's going to be old Pennington carrying on from the College Lawn end to bowl to Howell. Is on 27. These two have steadied the ship again for Gloucestershire. It's been like that throughout the day. Batsmen come just when they're in a bit of trouble. They do steady things, and the Seagulls wheeling overhead on the right-hand side. 3 other lesser ones have left the ground. There's a bit of a seagull fight going on above the hospital as Pennington bowls to Howell, and Howell just gets an easy peasy single, just plays it down towards the fielder who's patrolling things at deep square leg, and it goes just for a single to him. Howell on 28, Smith on 73. There's a hubbub around the ground at Cheltenham. It's a lovely atmosphere here. Some people take their 2 weeks annual holiday to come to every single minute of the game. As has Julian Clark. Yes, tremendous performance. As here is Pennington again to bowl to Smith. He's on 73. Just defensive push. Fielded by Pennington of his own bowling. He bends down to pick it up. Sun's out on Cleve Hill at the top. The highest point of the Cotswolds, just over, I think it's 1,054 feet if I recall. Cleve Hill. Highest point between here and the Urals. Check it out if you don't believe me. As Pennington bowls again. And Smith just ducks, puts one down to third man, gets another easy single to his name. He's on to 74. 3-1-6 for 6. But lovely. I mean, as always, you should have another festival ground. The people are allowed to play on the outfield during the lunch and tea interval. There was about 37 games of cricket at the lunchtime. I remember my son, when he was about 12, used to play on the outfield here as Pennington bowls, and that's cut nicely fielded by D'Oliveira. By Howell. Yeah, my son was 12. I can remember him coming here when he's now 30, and he's now 12. We used to play on the outfield at Cheltenham in the lunch interval. And now he's one of the ones who are getting massacred by Cheltenham Civil Service. They got 6 in the field. Anyway, I'm sure he'll enjoy himself. Patches of blue sky above. The clouds do lift as Pennington bowls, and Howell just defends. Pennington picks up the ball of his own bowling. Last ball of his 13th over, 1 for 42. 3 maidens in its spell. Nine overs after this, so these two I think will want to stay here till the end. I think they'll push on a bit, but David Payne will come in next. He's a useful number 9. He's got a few half centuries to his name. 7, I think he says. As Howell ends the over with a defensive push. 9 overs remaining. Over 8 is +1. That's okay. 316 for 6. Smith 74. Benny Howell 28.
Yeah, good effort. Smith just getting a drink from the 12th man and taking the opportunity to remove his helmet. It must be quite muggy out there, I think. In fact, both batsmen getting a drink and a little rub down with a towel.
When you see the batsmen remove their helmets on television, loads of sweat comes out, doesn't it?
Ben Cox just asking for his helmet as well, which means that he's liable to stand up to the stumps at some stage soon.
Right.
Could be to Joe Leach. Could be because Ed Barnard is going to come and have a ball. Doesn't often. I haven't seen him stand up to Leach very often.
He must be mad. He does.
Possible.
How old's Cox then? He must be about 28, 29? Been around a long time?
How long does it take to get 300 dismissals, I suppose? Yeah, about 10 years, I think. Here's Leach in, bowls to Smith, who pushes at this. Pushes is probably a little bit unfair. He hit it quite firmly, but straight back to the bowler and fielded there by Leach off his own bowling. No addition. 3-1-6 for 6. Confirmation on Ben Cox's age, 27. 37. So there we go. He's only ever played for Worcestershire in the MCC. There's Leach again in bowls, and this one is dropped down in front of him by the batsman. There's no run, but proper Worcestershire boy, Ben Cox.
Comes from Bromsgrove. That's in Warwickshire, isn't it?
No, indeed not.
Oh, sorry,
Indeed not.
sorry.
And he went to school there, but he actually comes from the sort of, I think, the Bell Broughton area around Kidderminster, that sort of area. And yeah, played for the county all the way through the age groups. As Leach moves in again, bowls. Smith pushes out on the offside. Fielded by Barnard. 3-1-6 for 6. 8 overs left in the day after this, so we're going to have a prompt finish-ish.
Here we are.
I think. And
very prompt.
Crowd's thinned out a bit there. The main temporary stand on the pass, even song, is the main reason. I haven't heard the chapel bells or anything like that. Here comes Leach. First umpire Illingworth. It's one of those juvenile seagulls. Takes off on the outfield on the far side at the risk of sounding Blofeld-esque. No run as this is pushed out on the onside. Tidy from Leach this spell. 18 overs, 18.4 overs, 3 for 70 so far from him. Leading from the front as ever, the Worcestershire skipper puts his heart and soul into it. Turns now, moving from left to right as we look. That familiar bustling run up, he's in, bowls right on over the wicket, and there's a shout of catch it as this one, Smith just fell over it a little bit, got his head outside the line and lifted his onside shot, but it didn't carry to D'Oliveira. It dropped well short of a mid wicket. Just a hint of encouragement for the bowler.
If you're a bird, I mean, you must get absolutely exhausted, your muscles.
They don't weigh very much.
Well, they do. If you fly non-stop...
Their bones are hollow.
Oh, I see, okay.
Here's Leach, he's in, and bowls, and it's down the leg side. Bit of a loose one from Leach, and Smith just helps it on its way down to fine leg for a single. Cry of no from Joe Leach, who's annoyed with himself, but it does keep Smith on the strike, which might frustrate Howell a little bit. 3-1-7 for 6 at the end of the over. 88 overs gone, 8 remaining in the day. And
7, isn't it? 8 sorry.
Remaining. And Smith 75 and Howell 28.
Yeah, I thought it was 7 or 8 overs remaining. 8. I'm sorry, I was wrong again. 88, 8 remaining. Of course. Right, okay, well I think they're Worcestershire would love to get another wicket, wouldn't they? But these two look very secure, I have to say. The 50 partnership is looming. 229 and 17 is something about 46, so just 4 runs short. As Pennington comes in and bowls, and defended by Smith. Straight back to the bowler. I think there's a member of Cheltenham College staff just walked past behind us.
I only know one.
And she's the one getting you in.
Yeah, I'm not going. I go to the in-laws.
Oh, I see, right, okay. Pennington it is, bowls to Smith. He gets tucked up by that one a little tiny bit. He must be tired. They must be tired out there now. You're going to the in-laws. Is it a big do? Is it a discotheque and stuff? No.
Fish and chip van, I think.
Is it really? Oh, good.
I'll be too late for that.
They must have kept
I probably won't get there.
You must get there for your in-laws' 60th wedding, so they'll be so disappointed not to see you. Surely.
I think they'll cope.
They probably don't know you are, actually. As Pennington comes in again, bowls and defended. Oh, think about a single but turned down. Are they still fit? I mean, 60 is a long time. It's extraordinary.
Farming stock.
60 years. Only managed 22. Oh dear. What are you laughing at, Julian? Is Pennington comes in again, halfway through his 12th over, and he bowls, and it's turned away by Smith. That might go all the way. The ball is increasing in velocity, but no, it's just hauled in just inside the rope. And he settles for 2. 77 Sunset Strip for Smith, 319 for 6.
Yeah, he's concentrated well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's played really well, I think, Smith, in the circumstances. It's a 4-day game. It's all about getting score on the board on that first day.
Correct.
Dent was playing that role. He went. So I thought, right, I'll just carry on in that way, and he's played exactly right.
Yeah. It'd be lovely if he got his first ever century. He's such a nice bloke. And dubs that down. And Oliveira runs into field, no run. He's obviously a very popular man. Suffered a terrible tragedy last year when his wife died of cancer. And he's got 2 children, bringing up on his own, and they've got support from the county. 2 little boys, I think about 5 and 3. But he's got a nice network of support in place now, which is helpful. Must be tough, you're a cricketer, isn't it? I mean, out all day as Pennington bowls again. Smith cuts, and that's going to be fielded by D'Oliveira as he moves away to his left-hand side.
I should imagine the PCA have played, isn't
Yeah, they have done.
somewhere
They
along
have
the
done.
lines.
Yeah, they did. They certainly did. And now he's raising money for the cancer charities.
Brilliant. Good for him. 31946. There's a lot of good people around in the game of cricket.
There are, yeah.
77 to Smith, 28 to Howell, 89 overs gone, 7 left in the day. If you're just joining us, it could well be the case. You might have finished a shift, or found your radio, or had your broadband restored, or something like that. Well, it's been an interesting and
Good
very,
day.
very enjoyable day's
Time has
cricket.
flown by. I have to
Wicket
say.
went down in the first over, 4th ball of the day, when Miles Hammond was out for 0. Since then, Broderick out for 40, Bracey for 8, Dent for 58, Higgins for 76, and Taylor for 10. 3 wickets for Joe Leach, 2 for Brett D'Oliveira, 1 for Dylan Pennington, and Gloucestershire with 7 overs left in the day. 319 for 6. And Wayne Parnell replacing Joe Leach at the Chapel end, and is going to bowl round the wicket to Smith, and he starts with a full-length delivery, which Smith
To Howell.
Howell, I beg your pardon, drives beautifully actually up to mid-off, but straight to the fielder so he doesn't get a run. Benny Howell, 28 not out, batting at number 8, looking very accomplished indeed.
Yeah.
And there's been no demons in the pitch. It's been a little bit of movement early on perhaps, but all in all a good disciplined effort, I think, from both sides really. It's Parnell again, left arm round the wicket, bowls, and this time Howell finds the gap on the offside with a good looking drive.
Julian's got
Runs away down that hill. Callum Ferguson in pursuit, pretty clear
That's
that
the
he wasn't going to catch it.
Hugh Julian Clark.
So it's the 50 partnership off 92 balls.
92 balls, that's okay.
Yeah,
Well played.
good effort. 50
Yeah.
partnership of 92 balls at this
I
stage.
think that's
Good
the
effort.
4th 50 partnership, isn't it?
Isn't it interesting the way that the wickets have gone down today? They've gone well, apart from the first one and the second, but after that it was pairs of wickets, wasn't it? And batsman then getting back on top. And Parnell bowls again. Even better shot, I think, this time. Wide half volley, and Howell just hammers it through extra cover. The first one didn't look as though it was going for 4 and then raced away. That one was 4 from the second it left the bat. Benny Howell fan club starts a
The
little chant
raucous
up down
behaviour
below us.
around the public bar and restaurant.
I told you it'd get loud later on. 3-2-9 for 6. Howell's raced to 36. That was a really good shot. That was a really, really top cricket shot.
You wait.
Bad delivery, but beautifully put away. Parnell is in again. Bowls, and Howell's gone. Oh,
told
it's
you.
amazing how that
Didn't I
happened.
said that?
Wider, short, and sliced on the front foot. Sliced, loose shot, and caught by Barnard at backward point.
I said it'd be out that ball.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
It was almost as though adrenaline.
Yeah, it was.
Adrenaline
Yeah.
took him over, wasn't it?
It was.
Caught by Barnard. Pouched it well, actually. It was travelling. First wicket for Parnell.
I mean, that plan didn't fulfil itself, but I don't think he's got any reason to be sorry for himself, because he has pushed the score along. 36 is all right. I mean, he's obviously upset. He's taking his time. Now, David Payne is coming out. Now, he's a good number 9, David Payne. Fine. Now,
Yeah, no reason. He's batting at number 8. That's all right, isn't it? That's
now, Payne is a good bat. He's got, I think, 7 first-class 50s, he keeps on telling me. He's a good number 9. He should be capable of staying here. However, if one of these two are out, well, it could be an innings in a day sort of thing, really. Smith is having a word with Payne, and Smith's saying, look, I want to get 100 here, mate, you support me. Actually, he's not like that at all, Tom Smith. Nothing. He's always a team man. There's no I in team, is it? Nah.
What did you say it was going to be? 350 odd?
70, I said.
Not
bad. Well, I was out.
You're as far out as I am, really.
Gloucestershire fan club on that
Thinking
restaurant.
in the morning when we have to face our inquisitors again, they'll be saying we were both wrong, you were both wrong. 3-2-9 for 7 then. 6 overs left after this. Wayne Parnell's picked up his first wicket, and now he's coming in to bowl to Payne. And he bowls, and Payne is beaten. Well beaten by that one. Groans all round as that goes through to wicketkeeper Cox. So 2 wickets in the morning session, 2 in the afternoon session, and 3 so far in this evening session. Higgins 76, Taylor 10, and Howell a moment ago out for 36.
It was a silly shot. I think you're right. He played 2 gorgeous drives through the covers, and he just thought, I can do anything here.
Easy to do.
Yeah.
And Parnell got the length a bit better. And he just sliced it, didn't he, to backward point. Is Parnell now in again? Bowls to Payne, who's off the mark. With a firm push through the covers, which is going to get him 2 runs. Whiteley sliding down, bit of tandem fielding as he flicks it back for Barnard, and the throw comes into Cox. And I thought it was the end of the over, but it wasn't. 3:31 for 7. 1 more ball from Parnell. Smith 77. Been in there for a long time.
Yes.
How many balls now has he faced, Julian Smith?
195.
195 balls for 77. Slow even by my standards.
Good.
Here comes Parnell and bowls, and that one steered down on the offside by Payne. Very comfortably, fielded by Barnard. End of the over, 6 left in the day. Payne 2, Smith 77, 90 overs gone. Gloucestershire 331 for 7.
Like I say, Payne can bat. I mean, he's not, you know, he's a genuine number 9. And if he hangs around, I'm a bit wary of, well, Matthew Taylor can sort of bat. Ethan Bamber, no pedigree at all, really. He's just on loan from Middlesex.
It's a great name, isn't it?
Ethan Bamber. I know, yes. Yeah. He looks... It wasn't me who said this. It was Richard Ray from Leicestershire. He said he looks like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine. There's Pennington bowls, and Smith goes for a short sharp single, and they make it. 78 now for him. Do you remember Mad Magazine?
I do, but I don't. I'm not that familiar with it. Not familiar with the character.
True.
I just think it's a great name, Ethan Bamber.
Ethan Bamber. Yeah. Now, it's strange that some people have been in that corporate hospitality all day without watching any cricket whatsoever. They have to be prized away from their chairs, I fancy. The wine has flown. You can hear some of the Gloucestershire fans in the public bar and restaurant. They get a bit raucous as Pennington bowls to Payne. Payne checks his drive and just diddles out. I think Smith taking that single. I think, well, that's good actually, because Smith is saying, look, I trust you, David Payne, you know. You may be a number 9, but I trust you. It's a difficult proposition when number 11 comes in, of course, and Smith will have to go for his shots a bit. Payne's adequate. more than that to be. Good bowler as well. Very wide stance as David Payne. Bats right-handed, bowls left. And gets a leg by. I think that's a leg by. We shall wait and see. Is it going to be given coquettishly? No, came off his bat. Surprised about that.
Glove.
Glove, okay. Take the glove. Now look, Triple Nelson, 3-3-3. Smith on 78. So it's quite dark now, just getting dark a little bit temporarily. It's perfectly playable. With 5 overs to go after this at the Gloucestershire Cheltenham College ground, and Smith just tucks it behind square. D'Oliveira makes a bit of a hash of the fielding, rarely, and they trundle through for a single. They're taking every single they can at the moment. Smith was on to 79. 6 runs shy of his career best, Julian Clark, is that right? Well, yes, equal his career best. It's 84, yes. I think he deserves 100, actually, if he can survive out there. Never got one in his life, Tom Smith. Well, he may have done for the twos, I think. He has opening for the twos, but not in first-class cricket. Pennington bowls to Payne. Payne, oh, down to third man. That was a bit of a... Well, if a gully had been a little bit finer, it could have been straight down his throat, but they can't have everything. Gets a single. 3-3-5 for 7. Who are you going to interview? Don't know, do you, really?
I've got 2 candidates. One would be Alan Richardson, the bowling coach, and the other one would be Ben Cox.
Or the first one out the door.
Don't judge other people by your own standards.
It's always the first one out the door if it's late, I tell you. Won't be today, as Pennington bowls to Smith. And it's got dark, actually. I can just feel a few spots of rain, actually, possibly. As the umpires look at the clouds.
End of the over. 5 left. We'll be all right for 5 overs, won't we?
Should be, yeah. Should be, why not? They'll be playing at North Nibley in this.
There you go. If they had enough players.
And they might have 8 now. I think they were searching for the 9th. Oh dear, it's just a very bad week. Very bad week. They can get them easily midweek. Easy, no problem at all.
There's a story there. There you go. Maybe we should play leagues in midweek when everybody just have a day off work to play.
Well, just play leagues. We're playing the Pratt Cup, the 2020 competition. The legendary Pratt Cup.
Wayne Parnell to continue from the chapel end. Left arm round the wicket to Payne. Bowls, and Payne with the rather artistic flourish of the bat leaves that one alone and goes through to Cox. 2 slips still there. Rest of the field fairly conventionally spread. Cover point, extra cover, mid off, mid on, mid wicket, long leg. And Wayne Parnell, who's picked up 1 wicket, he's in his 15th over, 1 for 47. Pennington 15 overs, 1 for 48. Almost identical figures from the youngster. As Parnell moves in once more, bowls to Payne, who plays very solidly defensively, back to the bowler. No run.
I say it's pretty dark out there now. I think they'll play on, but it is dark.
Lights on the scoreboard standing out.
Yeah.
Lights from the bar over there standing out. But still a pleasant enough evening. It's been a lovely day. It's been great to be here. It'll be even better when the sun shines tomorrow. As Parnell comes in and bowls again, a bouncer. If that makes the umpires look at the light, if that makes anybody think about the light, it'll be the umpires thinking about that after that ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
If he hadn't bowled it, they wouldn't worry. But yeah. Having said that, Payne got out of the way of it fairly comfortably, and
I think it's just a passing cloud
through to the keeper. Yeah. Here's Parnell again. He's in, bowls, and Payne pushes this one firmly to a backward point where Barnard fields and throws to Cox, as they're encouraged to do now. Get the ball into the keeper's glove straight away. And there's no run. 4 overs left after this. 3-3-5 for 7. And Smith on 79. That's a really good delivery from Parnell.
Well, that is that
Fizzes through outside the off stump. Played at that one all right. It's taken by keeper Cox. Good delivery from Parnell. 1 for 47.
The boys in the public bar over the far side having a good day. A good day.
Beginning to get excited. As Parnell comes in to complete his 15th over, round the wicket, bowls to Payne, down the leg side, and that's blown away down to fine leg for 4 byes. Annoyed Ben Cox, diving away to his left, couldn't reach it. Crossed the right hand and carried on going. 4 runs, 3-3-9 for 7. Ed Barnard coming out to bowl.
Who's got to go the hours at the close of play? I didn't hear that. No, I don't understand. 4 overs remaining in the dark. The umpires are consulting. I think they might come off, you know. I think they might come off. It's very dark out there now. And they're asking, and they're saying, do you want to stay on? No, they're coming off. The light is a big problem here. And it looks like it could be curtains for the day with only 4 overs remaining. So Gloucestershire 339 for 7. And it is a dark cloud. I think it might take some time to clear. So Smith is on 79. Payne is on 4. I think actually as they clap Smith off, it's nice of them to shift players to do that. I think it's probably curtains for the day. We shall leave the effects mic on if they do start again, because they can start up until 6:30. But there's a dark cloud around. So for the time being, we hope it may be more play, but if it's not, we'll leave you with Gloucestershire poised nicely at 339 for 7, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Just to say that as and when the play is continued, the pads will remain open for a while after the close if you wish to go in there for some refreshment before you head off.
Hi Andy. You can split us out. I don't think we're going any more play, but probably won't know for sure for about 5 minutes. Okay, and when I know, I'll give you a shout and you can record a little summary, if that's okay. Okay, thank you.
Duncan, how you doing, buddy? So you've lost your accent a little bit, mate. That's what probably threw me, really. No, I live in Shrewsbury now. Life treating you well, mate, yeah? Oh, so am I, mate. Probably looks a little bit like me a long time ago. I get a bit like Steve or Michael there. I know, yeah. He's got this one, yeah.
One was enough. 6-3-1. So I still play cricket, mate, because I still want to get out on the Saturday and get away from everyone. Great. Magic, mate. Great. All the best, mate. Yeah. We just want to get players are going the only reason that broke there is the player who's sitting like the change room. Oh, I'm sorry. The players want to work together. We used to be able to work there. Let me go kids, when they walk from there, oh, that's right. These are all shit. Oh, you must have like shit. I was going to say, yeah, nobody down there. There's not even a sign there, is there? It says, please don't walk behind here while we're bowling. All those things. That was back to us, wasn't it? We watched one over from by that side. Be allowed in, shouldn't it? I'll probably be here falling. I'll try and get here. I said to them and here we are. It's all down to you. I said, the umpires heard you. The umpires heard you. And they said, that's a point. That's a fair point. Sorry, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the umpires have decided that the light is not sufficiently good for us to continue, and therefore that is it in terms of play for this evening. Play has been adjourned.
Hi Andy, it's Frank. Hi. Yeah, it's off, so I'm ready when you are to do a summary. Okay, just do it. I'll just count it in. Okay, mate. 3, 2, 1. Bad light ended the day 4 overs prematurely here at Cheltenham College, with the home side put into bat on 300. Worcestershire struck early with Joe Leach picking up a wicket with the 4th ball of the game, but thereafter it was attritional stuff as the Gloucestershire batsmen dug in on a good surface. Chris Dent made 58, Ryan Higgins a breezy 76, and Tom Smith an obdurate unbeaten 79. For Worcestershire, Joe Leach took 3 wickets, Brett D'Oliveira 2, and there were 1 each for Dylan Pennington and Wayne Parnell.
Excellent, thanks mate.
Okay mate, thanks a lot, thanks for your help, cheers.